Living Faith TV.
And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food." Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. I know we're in a different set again. This is a temporary location. We're actually in the chapel where our offices are for the television station, and we're in the kitchen here because the brand new Everyday Manna set is under construction just in the other building. I cannot wait to debut it. It's going to be gorgeous. But for now, for the next few programs, we're going to have to be taping in here in our more commercial type kitchen, but that's okay. Today, we are going to be making a very easy, quick cheeseburger macaroni skillet. To go alongside that, we're going to make some wonderful creamy banana pudding and a salad with a homemade buttermilk dressing on it. Now, in this pan, I have some ground sirloin. Got my cheese on my board here that I'm just browning up. And this is a new little tool that I have found that I love. Just found it on Amazon. And it just breaks up the ground beef. You just put it in there and just kind of twist it a little bit, move it around, and it breaks up the ground beef into a finer texture instead of using this, which doesn't always work as well. This is a really handy little tool. I like it. Okay, we're just going to let that go for a minute. We're going to cut up an onion. Okay, just a regular, I'm using a white onion. You could use whatever kind of onion you have. That's fine. Alrighty. Okay, we're just going to saute the onion in the beef. Now I'm using ground sirloin today, which doesn't have a whole lot of fat in it. Got to find my food scooper. Don't know where it's at. We had to move everything, and it really, I don't know where anything is in here yet. I've got to learn this little kitchen. This is where we work. We'll have a grand opening soon. All right, we're just going to Oh, okay. They were telling me my scooper's right in front of me here. A couple of the girls put the stuff away for me yesterday. You know how you got to get used to stuff. This is a new kitchen for me. Although we've been here for a few months, the most I've done is make coffee in here. This is where we work. These are our offices. And this is like our employee kitchen. No, maybe it's in this one. Let's see. No, we'll find it. It's okay. We're just browning this up. This is a very quick and easy meal to cook any day of the week. You could have this done start to finish in about 30 minutes. All right. Now, I do have on the stove back here, I have a pot of water that I'm bringing to a boil, and I'm going to cook some macaroni. Now, you could put the macaroni into your skillet with the liquids and cook it, and I do that sometimes, but what I find is the macaroni soaks up all the juices as it cooks, and it gives you a little bit drier of a texture, and I don't want that. So that's why I'm going to cook mine separately. I do that whenever I'm cooking pasta, like for a soup. If I'm making a pot of vegetable soup and I'm putting pasta or minestrone, or then I'm putting spaghetti in, I always cook it separately because I just don't like that it soaks up all the juices. I'm just browning this. Now, this is very lean ground beef, so I really don't have a lot of fat to drain off. If you are using a fattier cut of beef, you would want to drain your excess fat off, if you want to. This is absolutely delicious, and this is a kid-pleasing menu, because most children like things with noodles. Okay? Now, that has softened up. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder or garlic salt, either one. I'm going to add some chili powder. I am going to add a little bit of salt and some freshly ground pepper. I like to add my spices before we add any liquids because the fat that's in the skillet helps those spices to bloom. Most herbs and spices are oil soluble, so they need a little bit of fat to bring out their flavors. So that's what we're doing. That smells amazing. Then I'm gonna turn this down. I'm gonna add 1 can of just diced, I like the fire roasted tomatoes. And then 1 can of corn, whole kernel corn, that I've drained. Stir all that together. And that just needs to simmer for a few minutes, about 20 minutes or so. If you want to add some tomato sauce, you can. But those tomatoes are going to break down a little bit, and they are going to release some more juices, and then we'll add in our cheese and our macaroni. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm just going to clean up, and when I come back, we are going to make a wonderful, creamy banana pudding. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alrighty, now, here's a little hint for you. If you don't have a lid, this particular skillet does not have a lid, and I don't have one big enough to cover it, and you need to simmer something, just use some aluminum foil and cover it up, and it just holds in the heat to help it to simmer. It's great. So that's just a little hint for you. I'm waiting on my water. Oops, I think my water just came up to a boil. So let's drop the pasta in there. All right, I'm just gonna cook a box of just elbow macaroni is all. So we've got that set up. And let's make some banana pudding. That needs to go about 8 minutes or so. I have here some bananas. I've got 4 bananas. I had 5. 1 disappeared. I ate it, so we've got 4 now. The more bananas, the better. I love bananas. And I'm just gonna slice them into a bowl with a little small paring knife. Bananas are just, I think, a perfect food. Love them. Alrighty. We're gonna make a banana pudding that is just creamy and delicious. You can make this in a big trifle dish, which is what I'm gonna do, or you can make it in little individual bowls, which is also good. You want bananas that are ripe, but not overly ripe for this dish. Like that little brown spot I'm gonna cut out. The really, really ripe ones with like the blackened skin are perfect for breads and things, but not for banana pudding. All right, let's get our peels up and throw them in our garbage can right here. Now, to keep those from turning brown while we're finishing the other things, I'm gonna squeeze some lemon juice on it, and it also adds a little bit of flavor. I like to cut the ends off my lemons when I'm using my little lemon reamer, and then just put it cut side down. I think if you cut that little point off, you get a little more juice. And depending on how juicy these bananas are, is to whether or not I will need 1 or 2, 3. I've got 3, but it just depends. I think I'll add 1 more. Roll your lemon. And then we will do 1. Half 1, I think, will be plenty. Now, you want to stir the juices around all those lemons, and that will keep them from turning brown. That's a good trick for apples or pears or anything like that. Just coat them in that juice, and that really does keep them from turning brown. Now, we want to make our pudding, and in here I have 3 cups of milk. I'm using vanilla pudding, just instant pudding, but you could use, you know, the banana cream. You could use any flavor you wanted. You could use banana cream. You could use anything you wanted. And I have a little small hand mixer here that I'm going to just mix that for a second or two, about a minute, just to get that dissolved. I know it's loud. Okay. Now just set that to the side for a second. And you're gonna add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. This makes it extra creamy, extra rich. You could add the chocolate flavor if you want to. You could add a can of dulce de leche, which you can find in where they sell the Mexican stuff a lot of times, the Mexican food ingredients, where the taco shells and things like that are. That is delicious though. Really, really good. And we're gonna mix that with our pudding. And it's gonna be delicious. Okay, that's enough. Now that needs to sit, I get those out, for just a second to let the pudding thicken up just a little bit. Okay, now, I gotta get used to my layout here. We're gonna let that kind of thicken up just a minute. And again, I'm making mine in a big trifle dish, but if you wanted to make them in little individual parfaits or bowls, it would be, you know, fine. It absolutely would be fine. I'm gonna clean up this mess real quick, stir that, check on my pasta, and when I come back, we will finish up the pudding, make a salad dressing, and finish up our cheeseburger skillet. I'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, now let's get our banana pudding together. Now here's our pudding mixture, and we are going to incorporate just 1 container of whipped topping. We're just gonna add that in. and fold it into our pudding mixture, okay? By folding, I mean just gently take a spoon to the bottom and work it in, just like this. You don't want to use the beaters to do this. You want to just use a spoon. It'll lighten up the texture. And incorporate that pudding all the way into the mixture. Now, if you see some streaks of the pudding, that's perfectly fine. All right, let's put a layer of the pudding down in the bottom. From here on out, it's just a matter of assembling. I like a little small offset spatula that I can get down in the bottom. And then I use little mini vanilla wafers because that's what I like. All right? And you want a layer of the little mini vanilla wafers. Just a single layer's fine. And then a layer of bananas. Okay? Because this is banana pudding after all. Then some more pudding. Okay. You could make this a couple of hours ahead of time. Be a little neater than what I am with your layering process. Let me grab a paper towel. I got to clean that up a little bit because I do want it to be pretty. That's the whole point of the bowl. Okay. Some more vanilla wafers. These come in flavors. Did you know that? And I saw yesterday when I was at the grocery store, and I'm very excited to do some recipe testing with crusts, pie crusts that are walnut and pecan. I don't know how long those have been out, but I was very excited to see them. Okay, I'm gonna add some more bananas. And repeat this process. Try to be a little neater about it. Now my top layer I like to be a little bit decorative, so instead of just putting the wafers in willy-nilly around the edges, I'm actually gonna kind of try to decorate the bowl a little bit here with the wafers around the edge. Totally unnecessary, but it just looks prettier if you make a little ring of vanilla wafers. This is also very good made with lady fingers if you want to. Instead of vanilla wafers, you could use lady fingers. Those are delicious. That's the traditional product that's used in tiramisu, if you've ever had tiramisu. And I'm going to save a few of the vanilla wafers for the top, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Then the rest of our bananas, just, you know, you don't want to pour that lemon juice in there. So make sure that your bananas, you know, you're kind of straining a little bit of that juice out. And you could add some kiwi to this if you wanted to, or raspberries. You could do this with any fruit. It's just, it's traditionally done with bananas. It really is very good. Okay. And then I'm going to put the rest of my pudding on the top, covering the bananas. You do want to make sure those bananas are covered. Keeps them from oxidizing. Let me get a little. I like these little scrapers to get all the last bit of that out of there. That pasta should about be done. Okay. And then I to take the remainder of the cookies and crunch them up and make little crumbs out of them. You could put them in a bag and let your children hit them with a little meat mallet or rolling pin or something would be fine too. Okay, and then just take some of the crumbs and just kind of go on top. It just looks pretty. And there you go, a quick and easy, creamy banana pudding. I'm gonna clean this up, get our macaroni, finish this up, and we will make a wonderful salad dressing when I come back. Be back in just a minute. Alrighty, now we've drained our macaroni and added that to our skillet. We are just gonna add in some shredded cheddar cheese. I'm gonna see how much. I'm not, I think I'm gonna need a little more than that. So, half a cup to a cup. As cheesy as you like it, which we like it cheesy. And that's it. That's all there is to this dish. It's done. Okay, that's it. Just let that kind of hang out to melt. And then you're through. Now, let's make a quick and easy salad dressing to go on our salad. Let's move our banana pudding out of the way. All right, now we're gonna add some buttermilk because this is a creamy buttermilk dressing, about half a cup or so. And then some mayonnaise, same amount. Some dried parsley, some seasoning salt, some onion powder, and some garlic powder. A little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon, and some freshly ground pepper, of course. As much or as little as you like. If you watch this show, I love ground pepper. Whisk that together, and that's it. That's just a creamy buttermilk dressing for you to serve over top of whatever kind of salad mixture that you like. I just have some basic greens here, the romaine lettuce with some carrot strips and some purple cabbage. But if you wanted to add some tomato or cucumber radishes, whatever you like in your salad, just put on top. And then add a little bit of your dressing just before serving. Okay? I don't like my salads swimming in dressing. I just don't. Then if you want to add just a sprinkle of finishing salt would be great. A little more cracked pepper. That's all there is to it. And then let's serve up our delicious macaroni skillet. Let me find a spoon here. Back here's some spoons. All right. Our wonderful, really, really easy to cook macaroni beef bake, cheesy macaroni bake. It's so good and so easy to cook. Anybody can cook this meal. And if you wanted to top it with a little bit of additional cheese, you could. Totally up to you. You could top it with some Parmesan. You could use Monterey Jack. You could use Colby. You could use anything you wanted. You You could even sprinkle a little bit of that on your salad if you wanted to. Up to you, however you like it. But there you go, a quick and easy dinner that you can make any night of the week. Start to finish, 30 minutes. You can have that done in under 30 minutes. And your banana pudding, you could make it while this is cooking, chill it for a little bit, or make it, you know, that morning and have it that evening with your dinner, whatever works in your schedule. So here you go, our first meal from our temporary location until we get into the permanent Everydaymana set, which will be in a few weeks. Can't wait to show you. Thank you for joining with me, and I will see you next time here at the chapel on Everydaymana.
Thank you for watching Everydaymana with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please.
What's wrong with the world, mama? People living like they ain't got no mama. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama, only attracted to things that'll bring the trauma.
Ma'am, you forgot your purse.
Honesty. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Okay, what happened to your passing? You gotta support the puck. Do I